So this is the first video in a two-part video series that I'm recording for my Wida Otaku blog, and it's a fan focus on the author, and I'm going to showcase some of my scrapbooking activity involving Wida. So first, what I want to do is I want to show you the first two scrapbooks I made, because the third scrapbook that I'm going to showcase that I just recently finished is sort of a combination of these first two. So when I started scrapbooking a few years ago, I started with a wedding scrapbook that I made as an anniversary gift, actually our first anniversary, to my wife. And it's a photo album style scrapbook. And honestly, I didn't realize that I was sort of dabbling in scrapbooking when I first started making this. I just really wanted to make a fancy sort of photo album of some of the photographs that were taken of our wedding. So, but later on, I realized that actually, I was starting to engage at least somewhat with the practices of contemporary scrapbooking. So as you can see here, it's very photo heavy. You have just these captions and various photos taken from the wedding. So I'm just going to kind of flip through these pages really quickly here so you can get an idea of what I put together for her for our anniversary. There's us. And there she is. It's so beautiful on that special day. Jumping the broom, long-standing African-American tradition. And we had a very, as you can see, we had a very intimate wedding. There's me and my people. There's the whole fam there. And you can see I have these page layouts, which are very simple, kind of just with the background and a basic caption, and usually just one background page. So next, I really wanted to explore a different style of scrapbooking, and this is when I ventured into scrapbooking proper. I had been looking at a lot of 19th century scrapbooks in archival collections, and so I wanted to take a stab at making a periodical clipping scrapbook, which the kind of scrapbooks which were really popular in the 19th century, before photo album scrapbooking really kind of took over. So this one is called Los Angeles Wida. It's a scrapbook, and what I did is I just sort of collected various articles about Wida that were printed coming out of California periodicals. As you can see here, there is a list of the metadata here, so that we can keep track of the articles that we're looking at. And even though it's called Los Angeles Wida, I know you'll probably see some from, like, for instance, the Oakland Tribune there. It really covers sort of both Northern and Southern California. But since I'm from Los Angeles, and a lot of these articles are from Los Angeles, I just went ahead and titled it as such. So you can see here, it's the order is in chronological order. So there is sort of some rhyme and reason to it, but I just basically gathered periodical articles from various databases, printed them out, and then put them in this scrapbook. And there's some really kind of great articles in here. This one, for instance, is one of my favorites. It's called "Intellectual Men and Wida's Novels," and it's just a little article describing the strange kind of factoid that at a certain point in time in America, it was seen as sort of fashionable for intellectual men to read Ouida. And so this article goes down the list of various dignitaries, including legislators and pressmen and so forth, and how they all admire Ouida. So this was a fairly traditional scrapbook, kind of like a new school method of doing it, because I didn't really like cut these articles out. I just printed them out and placed them in these plastic slips here. So yeah, so there's a series of inserts. I kind of inserted the clippings into them, and some of the articles are printed in really small type, so it's kind of hard to read and even to find where Ouida is mentioned. Others came out rather large, as you can see. So you know, it's a little bit different than, you know, your classic 19th century periodical clipping scrapbook, in that, you know, they used to just cut the articles out directly from the newspapers and kind of paste them into their scrapbooks, whereas I again printed these out and inserted them into these plastic inserts here. But it was fun, and it's really great. It's great to see that Ouida's name was circulating in American periodical press so frequently, even as far as the western coast of the United States. And there's a good one. Ouida style now obsolete. Oh, yeah. This is, as I said, it was chronological. So as we all know, those of us who are huge fan of Ouida's work, that her work was definitely in decline toward the later part of her life. As you can see here, Ouida, now 78, broken in fortune, lives in house of milkman. And there was a lot of wild rumors circulating about the author throughout the course of her life, especially toward the end of her life, and a lot of misinformation circulating in these newspaper articles. So it's kind of fun to kind of trace down these rumors and see what they were all about and everything. So yeah, that's my that's the first part of these two scrapbooks that I made, my first two scrapbooks. And in the next video, I'm going to showcase my masterpiece, which, like I said at the beginning of this video, is a combination of these two styles. All right, thanks.